Kim agreed, and with Ron as the elevator came to a full stop and they stepped out. As they left the building, the two heroes reflected on everything they had seen and heard that day. While Kim and Ron had at least lead as the two were behind Duff and Dementor's death, but they still had yet to know what this new threat had recited, and they were also even more paranoid than ever, due to the fact that this so-called Black Shadow organization supposedly had spies everywhere around them, hidden in public. Kim and Ron felt exposed, with the fact that some of the people around them could be informers working for this evil organization, and really had made them feel paranoid about being out alone. Even though Ron had mystical monkey powers to protect them, he wasn't willing to have unexpected encounter with any of the agents of the criminal organization that he and Kim still knew so little about. As they both entered Kim's coupe, Ron stared out the window worriedly, thinking about those he cared about, such as his family and friends. He so thought about Yori, the female ninja, alongside with Sensei and his fellow ninja disciples. While Ron had been significantly infatuated towards Yori when he first met her, Kim was the one he truly loved. However, Yori was probably the second best friend he had ever had, and the thought of any harm coming to her made his spine tingle. Ron also remembered Sensei saying about something about his time and the rest of his students drawing near at the end, and that really frightened him. Was Ridley planning to attack the Yamadochi Ninja School? Did he even know of its location? If the Black Shadow really had informers all around the globe, did they find out where the Yamadochi is? Ron didn't really want to speculate, but he had a bad feeling that Sensei and his ninja students were in terrible danger. However, he didn't even know what to do. "Ron, are you okay?" Kim asked, noticing his distress. "No, I can't stop thinking about everything Dr. Director said," Ron replied. "It's just so unnerving, and not even mentioning frightening. I mean, the closest criminal organization we face is similar to the Black Shadow, is Gemini's evil empire. But this one is completely different. WEE has only 8 members, but this one has millions, and multiple hidden bases around the world. Ridley's members could be all around us and watching us while we're out in public, and we wouldn't even know who they are. At least not yet." "True, and I am a bit worried about that as well. That is why we need to heed Dr. Director's orders about keeping quiet about the Black Shadow organization while we're in public. As long as we do that, we should be safe," Kim assured him. "I don't know, KP. I'm actually worried about our families, relatives, and friends as well," Ron replied doubtfully. "What if Ridley decides to go after them? I mean, with us many resources Ridley has, he could easily track our home locations and come after us." "We can't let that get to us, Ron," Kim said, a small hint of unnerve in her voice. "Ridley may have connections of his own wherever he is, but so do we. Global justice will protect our families and friends if it comes to that." "I'm worried about Wade too. You think Ridley might track him down too?" Ron wondered. "Hopefully they won't," Kim replied, placing her hand on his leg. "Let's try and take our minds off of all this and head to Bueno Nacho. That should cheer us up." Ron smiled with a nod. "Yeah, you're right. Let's not let it get to us too much," he agreed. "Agreed," Kim replied. The two of them continued down the road in silence as Rufus snored away in Ron's pocket. "What is the status of our secret weapons construction process? I trust you and your workers are performing the best of your abilities." Ridley questioned Faust over his communication screen in his headquarters. "The process is along quite smoothly, my lord. At the rate of the construction procedures going, our weapon should be complete later tonight. The worker drones have been proven to be quite useful in assisting our workers, along with the building process," Faust reported. "Impressive," Ridley replied, grinning. "So that means the first phase of my plan is beginning quicker than I expected. Keep up the good work." "My goal is but to serve you as well, my lord," Faust said with a bow. "Also, I have a bit of bad news regarding a certain issue that has come to my attention just now." Ridley frowned at this. "Oh, what's the issue, Commander Faust?" he questioned, his voice stern. "Our informers down at Global Justice has recently contacted me and told me that Gemini was taken into custody by 2 agents named Floyd Lawrence, and Nelson Rivers. They said that Dr. Betty, director, intended to interrogate him for information on the deaths of Duff Killigan and Professor Dementor, Faust informed. What? Did you say Lloyd Florence? Ridley asked in a firm voice. Yes, and his friend Nelson Rivers also assists in bringing Gemini in, Faust replied. By the way, you're asking, I presume, how I know them? Lloyd Florence. That's a name I'll never forget, Ridley said with a cold glare. He's the reason I ended up in... Well, never mind. What about Gemini? He didn't really defy what I ordered him to do, did he? We don't know for sure. Our informants in the room said that Betty had him in was soundproof, and when Kim Possible and Ron Stoppable show up, they went in somewhere else in the building out of sight. Our informants don't know anything else, but that's because any suspecting and Gemini may have revealed what was responsible for Duff and Dementor's deaths. He had also been granted asylum for Global Justice HQ by his sister, Dr. Director, Faust explained. Ridley clenched his fist, now visibly angry, hearing the news. He was pretty sure that Gemini might have mentioned him being the one who employed several of his henchmen away from the worldwide evil empire. Along with Duff Killigan and Professor Dementor to assist a haste mission the other night at the plutonium plant, luckily Ridley had not revealed the location of the Black Shadow Fortress to Gemini, but he still possessed a problem. If Gemini had revealed the name of the employer of what it was to try to get him about the Black Shadow, location informers, he could put into Ridley's organization in jeopardy. And with Gemini being kept protective over custody at Global Justice HQ, trying to get him out would be very difficult. Ridley's informers could do only so much, and ordering them to try and get Gemini out of Global Justice HQ was not a good excuse to fool any of their other agents, as it wouldn't be so easy. That damn traitor, he's gonna pay for this, Ridley growled angrily. If Betty is keeping him in protective custody in Global Justice HQ, heaven knows what he may reveal to her. It's possible that Gemini might have done that already, so I'm pretty certain that Kim Possible and Ron Stoppable may know something about this as well, Faust inquired. Our informers said that they might overheard Betty and she might needed to speak with the two of them in a secure location. Like I said, I can't confirm these theories, but it's our evidence that the informers gave us a pretty convincing. Ridley slammed his fist down on his desk angrily and cursed under his breath. While he was still certain that his organization's main hideout was safe from exposure, Ridley was still enraged that Gemini had dared to defy him. He had wanted his organization to stay secret, but thanks to that old fool, Global Justice and their two best agents now knew who Ridley was, along with the name of his organization. They probably didn't even know what he looked like, but didn't take a genius to know Global Justice would do anything in their power to track him down, along with his organization bases, all because Gemini wouldn't keep his mouth shut. Damn it, I swear, that whistle-blowing bastard is gonna pay for defying me. No one, and I mean no one, defies the Black Shadow and gets away with it, Ridley raged. Getting Gemini out of Global Justice may be proved difficult, Lord Ridley. Might I suggest we capture Kimberly Ann Possible or boyfriend Ron Stoppable and get them in this place? We can sure kill them afterwards, Faust suggested. No, Ridley replied firmly. Rest assured, I plan to eliminate them in due time. But technically, I will not be the one to take their lives. Don't exactly understand what you meant by that, Faust said in confusion. Kim and Ron have to be eliminated if they know what Gemini knows. And as for Gemini, we have to find a way to deal with him. Gemini will be dealt with, I could promise you that, Ridley hissed. But I will not be him who suffers. It'll be his sister that pays for his defiance. And as for Kimberly and Ron, I already have a plan to eliminate them in the future. But I will not reveal it just yet. I see, Faust said. So do you plan to eliminate Dr. Director? Yes, and I just have a way to do it, Ridley said with a grin. This is my new Archmare warsuit, fully functional. I ordered to keep my worker drones in test of systems the other day. Indeed it is, my lord, Faust replied with a more proud smile. In fact, it's ready now. Ridley grinned evilly and stood up in front of his desk. Good, and I think I know how to give my new little toy a test run, he grinned. He then ducked those drug traffickers down at the old abandoned freight train yard. I sent a load of cocaine to the other week and haven't paid me back in time, like I ordered them to. So I think they deserve a little punishment. Foss grinned evilly, as well as he shook his head. I do believe you're right, my lord. I shall prepare your new battlesuit mech right away, he said. Good, I'll be down there soon. Ridley out, Ridley informed, then shut off the screen. As the evil crime lord headed down towards the door, his head swam with thoughts. Now he had to eliminate Betty Director after he dealt with those pathetic druggies who failed to pay him what they owed him. While Ridley was still wanted Gemini dead for daring to defy him, he knew he had to wait another day for his chance to finally eliminate him. But he didn't mean Ridley could have a little fun in the process. But what better way to punish Gemini than attacking one family member he loved? You'll regret ever defying me, Gemini. Mark my words, Ridley said out loud as he headed towards his quarters to the elevator. I hope you enjoy whatever time you have with your sister in the interrogation room, because it'll be the last time you'll ever see her alive.